the VHS DVD and movie maker's bedtime story.
Hello everybody, VHS Movie Maker here again, along to the 4th episode of the VHS Movie Maker's bedtime story. And also, this episode's going to be like a little bit earlier than usual, because when I'm done with this, I'll be putting the top 10 favourite Thomas and Friends episodes video onto YouTube, and I'll premiere it tomorrow, which is Saturday. So the story we're going to be reading today is Toy Story. Let's read this book. Andy was a young boy with a big imagination. He loved playing with all his toys, but his favourite toy was a cowboy named Woody. "Come on, Woody," Andy called, holding the cowboy doll as he ran through the house. And he took Woody everywhere, and the two were the best of friends. As Andy was playing in his bedroom with Woody, his mum called to him. It was his birthday, and it was time for his party. "See you later, Woody," said Andy, as George was on the bed and picked up his sister Molly to go downstairs to join his friends. Because he was Andy's favourite toy, Woody even had his own special spot on Andy's bed. Once Andy had left the room, one by one all the toys started to move. Woody rounded them up from the wardrobe, toy chest, and from beneath the bed, and everyone chattered, just as they did every time there were no humans around to see them. Woody had some important news and gathered the toys for a special meeting. First, he reminded everyone that Andy and his family would soon be moving to a new house. Then he blurted out the big news: Andy's birthday party has been moved to today. The toys dreaded Andy's birthday party because they was going to have a newer fancy toy would replace them. Han was peering out through the window when he saw that Andy's guests on arrive. "They're here," he shouted. The toys watched nervously as Andy's friends arrived with presents. They get bigger every year," Rex cried out anxiously. Woody ordered the leader of the Green Army men. He wanted them to go to the spy on Andy's party. "Code Red, Sergeant, intelligence recon post downstairs." They carried the baby monster out of Andy's room and sneaked up the stairs. They were going to use it to listen to Andy and his friends. The soldiers escaped the road downstairs so they could sit the baby monster hidden behind a plant pot. The toys could hear the description of the presents as they were being over. Luckily, nothing sounded too threatening until the last package. All the children got still. Just then, the baby monster cut out. Social fans want to know what the last present was. Suddenly, Andy and his friends burst into the bedroom and rushed out again, leaving the mystery present on the bed. "Howdy," Woody said instantly as he climbed on the bed. The new toy turned to me. He stood with his hands on his hips. "I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger," he declared. He told the toys he was a space hero who had just landed on Earth. The new toy also claimed that he could fly and tried to prove it, but bouncing off the board and shouting "to infinity and beyond." The other toys were impressed, but Woody just rolled his eyes. "That's just falling with style," he claimed. Nothing was the same after Buzz went. Cowboy posed on the wall replaced with space posters. Andy stopped wearing his cowboy hat and ran through the house just in a space costume instead. Buzz was also put with the other toys. Everyone was to spend time with him. But the thing that upset Woody the most was seeing Andy climb onto his new Buzz Lightyear couple with Buzz. Woody was in the toy chest, alone and forgotten. He was no longer Andy's favourite toy. One evening, Andy's mum suggested that they should go to Andy's favourite restaurant, Pizza Planet. Andy could take only one toy with him, and Woody was the sure he was chosen. When Buzz got knocked out the bedroom window by accident, the other toys thought Woody had done it on purpose. He didn't want to face the fact that Buzz might be Andy's favourite toy, so he got rid of him, Mr. had accused Woody. Just then, Andy ran into the room and saw a child alone with Buzz. When he couldn't find him, he picked up Woody and left the Pizza Planet. As Andy, his sister, and Mum got ready to set off, a small figure emerged from the bushes and leaned to the back of the car. It was Buzz! When Andy's mum stopped at a petrol station, Buzz jumped into the back seat of the car next to Woody. "Buzz, you're alive!" Woody exclaimed in relief. But Buzz wasn't pleased to see Woody. "Even though you tried terminally, revenge is not an idea we put on her," Buzz said. His eyes narrowed. "But not her, are we?" Buzz jumped onto Woody, and the two began to fight. As they wrestled angrily, they tumbled out the car and onto the pavement. Suddenly, Andy's mum ran off. Without them, Woody and Buzz were stranded. Luckily, Woody spotted a Pizza Planet delivery lorry. The lorry could take him to Andy, but Woody knew that he couldn't face those toys without Buzz, so he tricked Buzz, saying the lorry was special that could return to his home planet. At Pizza Planet, Woody quickly spotted Andy. With a little luck, he figured they could jump into Molly's pushchair. Okay, Buzz, get ready, and Buzz! Woody turned around to see the Space Ranger running towards a rocket ship crane game. Buzz thought it was a real spaceship. Buzz climbed into the rocket ship crane game. Woody followed, still hoping he would convince Buzz to return home. Suddenly, the machine started whirring, and then the claw dropped and grabbed onto Buzz. Woody grabbed Buzz's feet and tried to drag him back down, but it was no use. Both toys were pulled into the air and dropped into the prize shop. Yes, double prizes! Shouted the kids in two toys. To Woody's horror, he saw that the boy was Sid, Andy's nasty neighbour. All the toys in Andy's room knew Sid. He lived next door and was the meanest kid on the street. Many times, Andy's toys would look out the window and seeing Sid torturing toys in his back garden. Sometimes he even blew them up just for fun. Now Sid looked at Buzz and Woody with glee. Let's go home and play, he said with a wicked laugh. Woody knew they were doomed. Sid took Woody and Buzz home and left them in his bedroom. The room was dark and eerie. And Sid had lots of scary tools that he used for toy operations. As Woody and Buzz looked around nervously, they heard strange rough sounds. Distorted toys! Creaked out in the darkness. Sid had modified his toys and turned them into terrifying mutants. Trying to escape, Buzz and Woody ran into the hall and straight to Scud, Sid's vicious dog. Promptly, the two toys fled. Buzz ducked through an open door. Inside, he suddenly heard, "Calling Buzz Lightyear, this is Starkerman." Then the voice continued, "The world's greatest superhero, now the world's greatest toy." It was a TV commercial for Buzz Lightyear toys. Buzz's mouth fell open in shock. Buzz felt stunned. Was the TV ad true? Still in shock, he walked to the stairs and saw blue sky through the hall. He knew he could fly, couldn't he? Wasn't he a space ranger? Gathering courage, he climbed to the top of the stair railing and leaped to infinity and beyond. He cried. For a moment, Buzz seemed to hang in the air. Then gravity took over. Buzz fell, crashed onto the stair landing, and his left arm broke off. Buzz Lightyear finally completely understood the truth. He was a toy. Upstairs, Woody searched for Buzz. He peeked into the bedroom and saw Sid's little sister Hannah playing with her dolls. After Buzz fell down the stairs, Hannah had found the Space Ranger and added him to her tea party. She didn't mind that his arm was broken. Most of the toys were broken already, thanks to Sid's operations. Woody waited until Hannah left the room and ran to help Buzz. But Buzz didn't want to cooperate. He was upset because he wasn't a real Space Ranger. Look at me, I can't even run out the window! The window! That gave Woody an idea. Looking outside from their own window, Andy's toys were surprised to see Woody. The cowboy threw him a string of Christmas lights and a scary knife from Sid's bedroom, but the toys still didn't trust Woody, and Buzz refused to come out the window to prove himself. Using Buzz's broken arm, Woody tried to pretend everything was fine, but that made it look like he hurt Buzz. Disappointed, Andy's toys dropped the lights and walked away. Woody felt terrible, but when he turned back into Sid's room, things seemed to be getting even worse. Mutant toys had surrounded Buzz. Suddenly, the toys heard Sid racing upstairs. Everyone scattered except for Buzz, who wouldn't move. He was still sad because he was a Space Ranger. When Sid burst into the room, he strapped the rocket onto Buzz's back. Blast off was scheduled for the next morning. Trapped under a crate, Woody was pleased with Buzz to escape and return to Andy. Over in the house, the kid who thinks you're the greatest, and not because you're a Space Ranger, just because you are a toy. You are his toy, Woody said. You are a cool toy. Woody nearly lost hope, but Buzz finally realized he was right. Being a toy was important. The Space Ranger knew it was time to get back to Andy. He ran over to Woody to help the cowboy free too. Just then, the alarm clock started ringing. Sid jumped out of bed. "Time for lift off!" he yelled, grabbing Buzz and running outside. Woody knew he had to do something very fast. As soon as Sid left, Woody gathered the mutant toys together and laid out a rescue plan. Buzz was a good toy expert, and they couldn't let him get blown up. We'll have to break a few rules, he told the mutants, but if it works, it will help everyone. Some of the mutants distracted Scott and Hannah, while Woody and the others jumped to a skateboard and raced on the stairs, shooting out to the back garden. Outside, Sid prepared to launch Buzz into outer space. With a cruel grin, he leaned over to light the big rocket explosives as he began the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7... Suddenly, he heard, "Reach for the sky!" It was Woody lying nearby. Sid turned instead. He picked Woody up. How had the cowboy dog got outside? Was something wrong with his pull string? Then one by one, the mutant toys stood up and staggered around the sound box, slashed up the mud and crawled from under the dog dish. Slowly and steadily, they surrounded the shocked boy. But Woody wasn't done with Sid. "From now on, you must take good care of your toys, because if you don't, we'll find out," Woody warned. And then he leaned in very closely and looked Sid right in the eye. "So play nice." Sid threw up his arms and shrieked in terror. Screaming, he ran into the house and slammed the door. Toys cheered. Their plan had worked. Buzz was safe. And best of all, Sid's days of torturing toys were over. But Woody and Buzz couldn't stand around cheer. A moving around was in front of Andy's house. It was the day of the big move, and if they didn't hurry, Andy would leave without them. Quickly, the two toys ran towards Andy's house. But Buzz couldn't fit through the fence because the rocket was still attached to his back. "Just go, I'll catch up," Buzz assured Woody. But Woody wouldn't leave without his friend. By the time Woody helped Buzz through the fence, though, it was too late. Andy's car had driven off. Woody and Buzz dashed out of the movement and decided to catch up. Buzz grabbed a loose strap, then climbed into the rear of the van. "You tried to help Woody too. Come on, you can do it, Woody," Buzz shouted. But Scott see the two toys and he raced after them. The dog leaped up and grabbed Woody in his mouth, dragging him off the van. "No!" Buzz yelled. He jumped onto Scott's head to save Woody. Now Woody was safe, but Buzz was behind, trapped by Scott. Woody yanked over the back of the van and looked through the box until he found the RC car. Using a remote control, Woody sent the RC back to pick up Buzz, but Andy's toys didn't understand what Woody was doing and angrily threw him off. Luckily, Buzz and RC picked up Woody as they came speeding back. Suddenly realising what really happened, the other toys tried to help. But RC's batteries ran out. Woody watched, heartbroken, as the van moved further and further away. Then they realised Buzz had the rocket on his back. Once the fuse was lit, Woody moved his home. "You did it," Buzz cried. "Next up, Andy." "Wait a minute," said Woody. "I just lit a rocket." Rockets explode! As the rocket began to burn, RC picked up speed, zooming down the street faster and faster. Buzz and Woody hung on tight as the van came back into view. But by now, the little car was whizzing so fast they began to lift off the ground. As they rolled outwards, Woody let go of RC, who landed in the van. Buzz and Woody whooshed into the sky. Just as the rocket was about to explode, Buzz snapped open his wings and broke free. "Buzz, you're flying!" Woody exclaimed. "This isn't flying," Buzz replied. "This is falling with style." Buzz and Woody soared through the sky, then glided down towards Andy's car. While Andy was looking out the window, the two dropped unnoticed through the car's open sunroof, landing safely on the back seat. Hearing a thump, Andy looked over. "Woody, Buzz!" he shouted. He had come close. Thrilled to have his two favourite toys back, Buzz and Woody had made it home. Everyone settled into the new house, but all too soon it was Christmas, which meant new toys. "You aren't worried, are you?" Woody asked Buzz as they sat into the baby monitor. No, Buzz replied nervously. No. "Are you?" "Now, Buzz," said Woody. "What could Andy possibly get that is worse to you?" They listened intently as Andy wrapped around his first person, and suddenly Buzz and Woody's eyes widened as they heard a unmissable sound.
The End. Pardon me. Bye-bye.
The end.